So this Aedes mosquito, when it bites an infected person and bites a monkey, it can still infect the monkey. If it bites a monkey and comes and bites you, it will still infect you. Hi guys, how have you been? How are you handling the heat, the sun? My God, what? Here in Kitengela, it is something else, but I was in Ruai, I was like, we are not alone. We are sharing these problems of heat strokes, okay? So I hope you guys are rehydrating, and which is very important, all right? So yesterday, Dr. Omoth came out and said that we are in yellow fever outbreak. Generally, 47 counties were told to be on alert, but the surrounding regions around Isiolo, where we've had more than 20 cases being reported, not from yesterday, but from January. So we have been sitting on this time bomb, and I understand medically it is because how yellow fever presents. What is yellow fever? The yellow fever is an arbovirus, yeah, and it is an RNA single-stranded virus. Those are jargons, but it is a viral disease, yeah, and it's categorized under hemorrhagic fevers. These are the fevers that will come with bleeding issues. They'll cause you to have bleeding tendencies with your as part of your symptoms, okay? So the yellow fever, it comes from the prominent symptom that people use to turn yellow. Yeah, that is one of the complications of yellow fever. Actually, it is not that you start by turning yellow. Yeah. So how is yellow fever spread? It is spread by the Aedes mosquito. So these mosquitoes spread in the tropical regions, yeah, and this is around the equator area where the weather is usually hot and humid, and we don't have the four seasons. Most of the time we just have rainy season and sunny hot seasons. That's it. Okay, so how is this transmitted? Okay, the vectors of transmission are the mosquitoes. When the mosquito bites an infected person and then it comes and bites you, then it can infect you. Okay, so this Aedes mosquito, when it bites an infected person and bites a monkey, it can still infect the monkey. If it bites a monkey and comes and bites you, it will still infect you. Okay, so the carriers are either monkeys or these primates that are human-like. Okay, so it can transmit in 3 zones. Yeah, in the jungle, it's in those like tropical forests, and when you go to visit those forests, then you interact with the environment. You can get bitten by these Aedes that has bitten a monkey, and then you get the yellow fever. Yeah, and then in another way, it is in an intermediate environment, which is like homesteads, home-like environment, or even the jungle environment. Yeah, so that is a combination of jungle and homesteads. Okay, so homesteads, mainly you will find that it's in regions where we have stagnant waters, and specifically around them Rift Valley in Kenya, and also around the northeastern areas where we have these Aedes mosquitoes. And these Aedes mosquitoes, they can also spread some other hemorrhagic fevers like dengue fever. You've had dengue fever. You have chikungunya, which is also a hemorrhagic fever, and we have Zika virus that was spread around South America like in 2018. Yeah, there was an outbreak. Okay, so what are the symptoms of yellow fever? So this yellow fever is in 2 phases. When you get bitten by these mosquitoes, the Aedes infected Aedes mosquito, and the incubation period takes like 6 to 7 days for you to show symptoms. Okay, so within these 6 to 7 days, even if they test, they will not see anything, and you will not be symptomatic. You will not be showing anything. Yeah, so from day 7 of being bitten, that is when you'll start showing symptoms, and from this day 7 is when we do a PCR test with your blood or your urine, we will be able to find the virus in your system. Okay, and this will run up to 2 weeks. being bitten. Okay, so that is a whole period of 2 weeks. 1 week of incubation and 1 week to 2 weeks of symptoms is when we will be able to find the virus in your blood. Okay, but if we do the test, the PCR test, from 3 weeks after your symptoms, we will not be able to find the virus. But when we do an antibody test, ELISA antibody test, we'll be able to find it. Okay, and these symptoms are just normal. In the acute phase, you have headache, you have muscle ache, you have fear of light, and you have nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, dizziness, and just back pains. Okay, and redness of the lips and tongues and eyes. Okay, and then something funny with this yellow fever, after the seventh day of symptoms, yeah, you can have, like, you can heal and feel like you're okay. Then 2 days later, that is when now you get into the toxic phase. Yeah, this is when the toxins are in the system, all these cells that have died are still in the system, and then now you are showing signs of toxicity. Yeah, and at this phase is when now your kidneys will be compromised, your liver will be compromised, your heart will be compromised, so you'll be having yellowness of the eyes, liver compromising, and then the abdominal pains. You will have reduced urine and even no urine at all, and you'll have nose bleeding tendencies, bleeding from your nostril and your mouth, and also you can go into septic shock. Okay, so we have talked about these signs, but now the problem is we don't have medication for it, a specific treatment for the yellow fever. What we use is we do a symptomatic treatment. If you have the headache, we treat it with the headache. If you're showing signs of organ failure, now you get into ICU, then we start supporting your organs, and then we just manage with whatever it is that you have. Okay, but the key factor with this is the vaccination. If now we get into this outbreak and it spreads, then we'll have to have mass immunization. At least we do 80% of the population to get vaccinated, and then we do eradication of these mosquitoes, because they are the modes of transmission. Okay, so there are people who are also, this vaccination is not for everybody, by the way. If you get yellow fever, not everybody will be vaccinated, because there are categories of people who will have adverse effect when they get vaccinated. E.g., if we vaccinate pregnant women, not unless it's in an outbreak, when the benefits outweighs the risk, we don't vaccinate the pregnant women. People with allergies, severe allergies like to eggs and poultry products, we don't vaccinate. People who are immunosuppressed, like if your immunity is very low, maybe because of if you have diabetes, if you have symptomatic HIV patient, so we will not give you vaccine. Okay, because you will react so much to the vaccine. This vaccine is life attenuated. Okay, so it's not an mRNA virus vaccine, it is a life attenuated, so it can cause you symptoms that are of yellow fever. So calculated the milder form of the virus in you, so that you can bring out antibodies for yourself. Okay, so yeah, basically I think that should be it for us for today about yellow fever. I hope you've gotten 1 or 2 things about it, and you're able to understand from where you're seated. And the modes of prevention is just maybe sleeping under a treated mosquito net, yeah, and also using mosquito repellents when you go like to those tropical rainforests, or you go to visit areas that are prone to having these mosquitoes. So it's good for you to protect yourself from the mosquito bites. That's it. Okay, so until next time, it is bye from me, and please keep on rehydrating, keep safe, and see you next time.